Hello, the game has started and my opponent has opened with Radix. A good score of 42 points. And I have this rack to deal with. Not terrible, but certainly not bingo territory. So I have how here for 28. Oh, no I don't. I have... What do I have? I have donut for 28. So I've duplicated the G, not ideal. I have way on the rack. And the board pretty close, tight at the moment, I'd say. The R is still a floater. Oh, opponent plays across the top and scores pretty well. Now Wade doesn't quite work underneath Petia. So what to do? Rad takes an E. Dio takes the H. EH feels a bit weak, even though the score is decent, 33. Now I've got way for 40, and I think I'll go with that. Not a great rack leave, but I can't see anything better. Not great. Duplicate I, duplicate G. Rad takes an E. And two I's, radii. Opponent has a decent lead. I have the ING ending. Wiring, for example, would get rid of the duplicate I and G situation. Looking at underlap potential here underway. Not seeing anything great there. So yeah, wiring definitely a good way to get rid of duplicate I and duplicate G. Opponent taking some time with this move. Perhaps close to a bingo, another bingo. So my wiring spot still available. Not great. The V and the duplicate L, so a long way from a bingo. Got jog and G. Jog and G. Not a great rack leave, but a decent enough score, I guess. Wiring probably does take an S, although You never know with those ones. Well, sometimes you do, but there's no set wrule. I think swiring might be good. Opponent takes my spot, which is somewhat irksome, and doesn't provide me with anything else. So, Joel 425. Village, who would have thought? And raid, so that's worked out quite nice. Village doesn't quite work because Vild takes an E. Now opponent has not taken my village spot. 68. And a decent rack. Emulsify onto a Y. No Y available. There'd probably be a few bingos here. Semi-loon onto an E or through an N. And I have the mis prefix. Misrule, for example, plays pluralizing donut. No front hooks for T. The B, not a great floater, although there are ABLE ending words. The W, potential, but not incredibly synergetic with the U and the M. I have the ism ending. I guess the potential of playing through two floaters is still a possibility. But I'm not seeing anything there. Wow, okay. 9 timer opportunity. I have the up prefix. Up smile, no. Up climbs, but not spelt that way. Now what about just starting with the P? Plumiest. Just not seeing a 9 timer. Plumiest will have to do. Draw fairly decently, a little clunky. C, F and G don't go well together. But I should be able to score with this lot. Gambit, good score by opponent, 42. Now, my F does play here. So let's see if I can get some dual direction. GIF, I could play GIF, that would score well. And that's 35, I'm happy with that. Okay, at tissues, not quite, I don't think you can spell it that way. At tissues, if I had another S instead of the C. What about Opponent play of Uno suggests he's vowel heavy. Cahoots plus an I. Sociopath, that would be a 9. What about the co-prefix? Nothing jumping out there. Any hot spots for the H? And I don't think there's a 6-letter play beginning with SH or SCH. No. Now, what about just who down the bottom here? That'll take out a few floaters. Yeah, I think I'll go with... Or actually, what about wirings? I haven't actually investigated that. What about show for 34? Yeah, wirings is fine. Now, what about this rack with the T? I have the shin ending. And I have the IC ending. Inorganic. That's a 9. Betoken takes an S, I would have thought. The T looks great with this rack. Anoritic? No. Carotene. Carotene just looks very close. Carotene. Carotini. Carotene. Okay, I draw the Q and a blank, so this is looking good. Is there a bingo? And what would it look like? Betoken and quoits. That would be a decent score, not a bingo, but Kib a play from here. Not seeing anything. Is there a 7 with the blank as a U? Equations, no, that's a 9. The M doesn't look overly helpful, even for words ending ISM. Wow, 50-point play by opponent, so he's not far behind. I have 5 minutes left. How best to utilize... Now look at these remaining tiles. Z, double E, double Y. So opponent could play Z there. So what do I do? If I play QI, I here, opponent can't do anything, and then I play iotas. Oh no, he can play biz and z, so that's not ideal. That is not ideal. The Q, I can't really get value off it there. But I think if I play QI there, I'm definitely going out next turn, I would have thought. Yeah, I can go out there. And I don't think opponent's got enough to win 30, no. But what is my absolute highest score? Does opponent have any really hot Z spots on this board? I don't think so. So he plays biz and Z, and he's stuck with 2 Ys. Yeah, I'm going with this. If he does have a high scoring play somewhere, then iotas will be a huge score. Now, Stoma. Just looking at the best possible score with the remaining tiles. Make the blank an F. Fatso. Yeah, so opponents play there. Just thinking if there's anything. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. So Fatso should do it. That's 11, but if I play Santo, that's 12, so just an extra point, I guess. So final score 406 to 351. Thank my opponent. Let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning of the game, and opponent opens with Radix. That seems fine. Whoa, who done it? 80-point play through the eye. Who done it? Certainly not me. So I missed the optimal, but got the second best with Donut. Opponent bingos with 71-point P-tier play. And then Wayage, another bingo missed through the E. Wow, so I spotted Way, but not Wayage. And I was looking for the highest score, but missing Wayage. The next highest was actually Way. So that was also took out a pretty hot scoring spot for opponent. Ottawa for opponent there for 18. Goes with Dot, and then Wiring seems best for 20. Temp for 27, but opponent goes with Vild for 16, balancing the rack. Jiver for 23, Joel for 25, nothing great on offer. And opponent's got Brand, 31, that looks good. Village comes down for 68, that was the only bingo placement. And opponent's got a few duplicates. Goes, oh, he had a 34-point play, a few 34s there. Making jam and team goes with penned. Now 9-timer Splenium, 158-point play. It's only vaguely familiar, so yeah. Plumiest Sublime and Donuts, so that would have been nice. Yeah, Sublime at N9. Okay, I thought Misrule was good as well. Wonder why it's not there. Anyway, so Plumiest comes down, and then look at that timetable for 65 points. Where was that? F3 timetable through the T and the L. Tricky to spot. Opponent goes with Gambit, 42, and then I've got GIF for 35. I hung on to the S. So that looks good. And opponent's Val Heavy now goes with an Unor. Never know how to pronounce that. And then look at that Oshak. 11J for 42. Oshak, that would have been nice. Huge. But there were 2 S's to come, and I think it probably takes an S. So I played the safer one. Opponent has Ketone for 47 at N10. Show takes an E. So Ketone. Yep. Just have a look at the placement. Massive play. But opponent goes with Betoken. And then no bingo here, but I just thought I'd take out the most useful lane, and it actually took out the T and the I. So I wasn't too worried about the lower score because of the merit of blocking those bingo floaters. Now opponent's got, wow, I wonder if he would have had a bingo there. Interesting. So 50-point power play on the right there. Now, what was my best on offer here? Chi for 30, keeping the blank. Squat at 3F. Squat there. That empties the bag. Yeah, I don't think I could have lost from this position. But I went with Chi. And then, yeah, opponent, see what his highest play was. Yeah, just in the late 20s. And then I went out with Santo, but, through the M, Stroma. That would have been the optimal play. So that was the end of the game. Yeah, interesting one. There were some interesting words there, timetable, and yeah, also weighage, which I missed, but I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.